Go.
It's you, Malik.
I thought that was you.
No, see, the intro is blue, so that's
Oh,
you.
Got all this planning.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
Now you only got 40 seconds for the
all
intro.
right, all right, all right. Well,
Don't fix it in post.
Say go again, Joe, and I'll get started.
Go again, Joe.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We are the Agents of Helm, and this is your weekly update. This is the show where we give you a little bit of a run through, where the agents jump in and we talk a little box office, a little what's going on in the world of entertainment. And to start us off, we're gonna go right to Lorenzo, who's gonna give us a box office rundown for the week that is.
How you doing, Malik? This is the box office. We got, let's just start off number 10. TNMT is up to $187 million. That's $1.4 million this weekend. Your movie, I don't know if you got a chance to see it, Let's Be Cops. That's almost up to $80 million, with another $1.5 million this weekend. And Guardians of the Galaxy is still in there. It's up to nearly $320 million and made another 3.7 this weekend. A Walk Among the Tombstones with Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson, the man. $20 million, another $4 million this week. No Good Deed. Malik, you said you're going to make sure that you go see that for us, right?
Yeah.
It's your job. It's your job.
I'll bite the bullet on that one.
Well, you know, it's made 46 million so far. It made another 4.5 million this weekend. I guess it's been a pretty slow week for some of these movies. So, like Dolphin Tale 2 is at number 5, 3.7 million this week, with Harry Connick Jr. and Morgan Freeman. This is Where I Leave You, 22 million. It's brought in 22 million so far. It made 6.8 this weekend. The Box Trolls. This is the first week for the Box Trolls. Anybody gonna take their kids to see that one?
No, not if I can avoid it.
No. It's about trolls that live in boxes. Well, they wear boxes. And that one made 17 million. The Maze Runner, I guess this is the second week out, made another 17 million. That brings it up to 57 million. Not bad, not bad. But number one in the box office and number one in Joe's heart, The Equalizer, made $34 million. And Joe, he had a chance to see the film. And Joe, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. Be my pleasure, Lorenzo. Denzel Washington stars in The Equalizer. It's his first dramatic action movie since 2012's Safe House, co-starring Ryan Reynolds. This movie plays as kind of an origin story to the 80s TV show of the same name. Denzel plays Robert McCall, an ex-government assassin who is now living a normal life in Boston. Robert McCall works at the local Home Mart, or AKA the Home Depot, looks just like Home Depot, or like a BJ's or Costco type of thing, and spends his nights reading books at the local diner. One night he befriends a hooker, played by hit girl herself, Chloe Grace Moretz. He meets at the diner, and once he realizes she's being beaten by her pimp, Robert springs into Equalizer action. As with all good deeds, they never go unpunished. This one act brings the wrath of the Russian mafia on McCall, in particular Teddy, who's played by Martin Soskas. I can't remember he was actually in Nikita, but none of you guys watched Nikita, but he was in Nikita for a while, who will stop at nothing until McCall is dead. It's a game of cat and mouse as McCall fights for his life and the ones he cares about. So that was pretty spoiler-free, I believe. But as for watching the movie, seeing it live up there, watching Denzel do his thing, I really enjoyed it. It was very similar to Man on Fire. So anybody who's a fan of Man on Fire, I think will like this movie. Now, honestly, Man on Fire was probably better than this movie. Both movies took a long time to reach to get to the actual action. I'd say The Equalizer, probably nothing really happens for like the first 30 minutes or so. The movie is 2 hours and 12 minutes, so you really don't see a hint of Denzel's character being an assassin or anything like any of his skills. Probably 30 or 40 minutes into the movie. After that, after the scene with the Russian Mafia, where his first encounter with the Russian Mafia, after that, then it's all there's a lot of action that follows. It's Denzel trying to try to stay one step ahead of the Russian mafia that's after him. So it was a good movie. I think, like I said, if you enjoyed Man on Fire, you will enjoy this movie, The Equalizer. There's a huge difference in the endings. I'm not going to spoil it. This ending is a far better ending for Denzel in this movie than it was in Man on Fire. But I definitely recommend it if you just want to go and have a good time at the theater. I think you'll enjoy it. And all the ladies love Denzel, so I don't think no matter what, I think they're gonna turn out to see this movie.
Yeah, I think his demographic is starting to age out a little bit, though.
Really? Why? What's his demographic? I would say 18 to 49.
Oh, it definitely
So,
isn't 49 anymore. I doubt the majority of his fans are under the age of 49 years old.
Actually-
you're a fan of his. I'm a fan of his. We're all under 49.
Well, I think
no.
Joe, I think they should just start getting Jay Farrow to play Denzel.
Yeah. What I think is
Pop 'em out.
like we've often talked about on this show before, the lack of action stars that we have. Look, Liam Neeson is bringing people to the theater to see the same character over and over again. I think Denzel can do that as well. And Denzel actually hasn't been making those kind of choices lately. I mean, I think his last movie was the movie he did with Mark Wahlberg, which was like a buddy cop comedy action film, which was like a fun movie. But prior to that, he did Flight, which was your Oscar movie. So Denzel switches it up every year. Seems like he's doing a movie a year now. So he switches it up. Keeps things moving. You never know what he's gonna play next. Possibly it'll be another Oscar role for him, or Oscar nominated role, in the near future. But right now we had The Equalizer, and I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's it's a lot of fun. It seems like it's just another revenge flick where these guys are this
Well,
guy.
technically, it's not a revenge flick. I mean, he's not. I
He's
mean,
getting revenge for
he's
her, right?
well, not so much revenge as he's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to help somebody who needs help.
It's called the Equalizer, so he's equaling the score, if I'm not
Exactly. He's helping somebody who can't help themselves.
mistaken. She can help herself. She can help herself. She can buy a gun. I mean,
Not in that way. She felt trapped. And if anything we've learned over the last few weeks, with everything going on in the news with these athletes and stuff, she felt trapped and she felt like she couldn't get out. And that's where the Equalizer steps in.
She didn't hire him to do this, though, right?
He did not hire him. He does this out of the goodness of his heart.
Of his assassin of his U.S. assassin heart, right?
Yes.
That brings me to my point. What the hell is wrong with these guys? These guys are killers for a reason. These guys have been killers for the last 25, 30 years of their lives. They've been killing people on a regular basis, and all of a sudden now they get a job at Home Depot, and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do things for the right reasons. You probably killed somebody's father, somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's mother, somebody's sister. You've probably killed a bunch of those people already. For reasons that your government told you it was okay to do it, so you went and did that. But now you want to go and give the damn Russian mafia a hard time. All they're trying to do is make a damn living in this world. That's all I'm saying. These guys, these killers nowadays.
Poor Russian mafia. Those
Killers nowadays.
I mean, look, you're a killer. This is what you do for a living. Like, why? Where is it that you now have just decided that you're going to start killing for the everyman, right? Like, you're just gonna, you know what? They can't do stuff for themselves. She's a hooker. She's a hooker. Joe, she's a hooker. Okay, let's not overstep the boundaries. She's
hookers
not like,
need help too.
Yeah, they need help.
And it's not so much as if she was a hooker. She was his
Forced
to
friend.
do this. She's forced to do this.
He's
But
not
she
his
was-
friend, Lorenzo.
she was
He
his
met her at a
friend.
diner.
He didn't pay her any money, and she talked to him about Old Man in the Sea.
He met her at a diner. She's not really his friend. They just met at a diner. That's it. They've been friends for how long? Like 20 minutes of this film? Like,
No, you get the idea that they're acquaintances for quite some time.
If Hit Girl talked to me about Old Man in the Sea, then I would call her my friend.
What's she doing? What's she doing at the diner? Is she
She's
actually?
grabbing a snack in between jobs.
Ew.
So she's on the job. She's actually on the job. She's actually
She's on the
busy
job.
Working.
doing something.
She's working. She's grabbing a snack. She jumps in there, and grabs a snack, and Denzel tries to basically, while he's there reading, he's trying to educate her and trying to get her to do the same, trying to read, try to get her out of that living where she feels trapped.
Oh, because he had such a amicable. His living was great. Like, oh yeah, you should get away from being a prostitute because I was a murderer, right? Like that's what I did for a living.
I mean, it's like, if you go into the army and you're in a war, are you a murderer or are you fighting the war?
Yeah, you're
Then
killing
that's what
people,
he
right?
did. All right, he's not a Charles Manson.
Did he get her a job?
No, wait, and I don't want a bunch of people coming and calling me, Joe, you condoning murder. No, I'm not condoning murder. What I'm saying is there's a fundamental difference.
Wait, okay, here's my thing,
The
Joe.
murder being committed.
Here's my thing, Joe. He goes to the diner every day. He sees her every night, right?
Yep.
Why didn't he bring her an application for Hallmark?
I don't.
Why didn't he give her a recommendation? Have her come into Hallmark.
Turn her life around.
No, Malik, she wants to be a singer. She doesn't want to work at Hallmark. She wants to be a
Okay.
singer.
Okay, so she can be a prostitute as like her part-time job, but she can't work at Office Depot.
No, she had to pay for the studio time, Lorenzo. Studio time is not cheap, as we know, since we don't have a studio.
That's
Meta.
You've got a good point there.
These killers nowadays with these golden hearts is just hilarious to me. Yeah, I mean, my other point is like, look, obviously you got these. Look, in your suburban neighborhoods nowadays, you got all these like retired people working at Walmart and Home Depot and all of this. Now, it's
Be
now
careful.
it's
Don't
not
mess with
yeah.
the wrong one.
It's now starting to show to me like these guys are retired from something for a reason, and they've decided to just kind of be, regular folk again. Obviously, we need to look out for them, because clearly, they have skills, they have skill sets that, obviously, the regular person working at Home Depot does not. So if there's an old guy working at Home Depot, you might want to, veer away from him pretty quickly.
Don't piss him off.
Yeah, clearly you don't want to piss him off.
Joe, what is up with the old man in the sea anyway?
Okay, so Denzel talks about Denzel's character, Robert McCall. He lost his wife. They don't really get into the details. He lost his wife, and one of the things that his wife was doing prior to her death is when she was reading the top 100 books you should read before you die. She
now,
only
is this
reached,
the list that she made, or this is a list? This is a
this
list.
is a list they
it's like
allude
from
to. I don't know if the list.
Reader's Digest.
I have no idea if the list is real or not. But
Chekhov's
this is a
reading
list.
list.
They allude to the top 100 books you should read before you die, and she made it to 97 prior to her passing. So Denzel decided that he himself is going to read all 100 books, and at the start of the movie he is up to 91, which is The Old Man in the Sea. So
And is there some sort of metaphor there? Because he's an old man.
yes,
and-
they do draw comparisons to the book, and how the old man, when he's trying, I can't remember the exact analogy, but in trying to get the shark, or was it a shark? What was it?
It was
The
a
whale?
fish. Oh, whale. I don't
Was it
know.
a whale, shark, whatever? I can't remember. But in his pursuit of the whale, or shark, whatever, the fish, and the fish actually dying, and never really being able to capture it, but it dies. He learns a lot about himself, and that maybe what he thought he was old, that he couldn't do anything anymore, but he really can contribute and do things, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it tries to draw comparisons to what Denzel is actually going through, what his character is going through in the movie. But
Now,
I mean,
at any point-
they're
At any
not
point
really
does the old man in the sea, does he time himself as far as like how long it's going to take him to catch a fish? Is he like 16 seconds and then he goes after the fish?
At the time when The Old Man in the Sea was written, I don't think the digital watch
He could have
was
used the night
invented.
timer.
He could have used the sun to time himself,
It's the sun.
or he could have
It
used
wasn't that long ago.
could
I'm pretty
use
sure
the-
Hemingway had
could
a
have used
watch.
the abacus and
Abacus?
and just threw the beads over. I don't know, but
I have a question. So at the end of the movie, do we find out he was blind all along?
spoiler alert, no.
Well, that's disappointing.
It's not like the that stupid movie The Village by M. Night Shyamalan, where most of the movie I had no idea that girl was blind. I'm like, how's she blind? She's walking through this with like no stick or nothing. Anyway,
You really didn't know she was blind?
I didn't know. I was like half paying attention, and her eyes were open to me. Her eyes were open,
And they weren't focused on anything.
Well,
Like she wouldn't look at people.
what I want to
the
know
movie
is,
is stupid, Johan. It doesn't matter.
Joe,
It's okay. It was a stupid movie.
is the Russian mafia, is that like a big thing to worry about? Where's the movie set?
Boston.
In Boston? Is that like a serious? And are they even a real thing anymore? The Russian mafia?
I have to get in touch with some of my sources to find that out, Lorenzo. I got some sources up in Boston. I'll find out everything you need to know about the Russian mafia's existence in Boston by tomorrow.
I mean,
I have
see
no
the guys-
idea.
I see the guys in Brighton Beach. I know that I can tell because they're wearing the tracksuits and they got the necklace on and the sneakers. That's how I know that they're in the Russian mafia.
That is true, because if anybody who watches Persons of Interest would know that Lorenzo's got it right on the money, that the Russian mafia exists at Brighton Beach. That's what I learned in Persons of Interest. CBS. Which is funny because The Equalizer was on CBS as well.
Yeah, this old show. That's the thing about these remakes. The guy in the original was old. I guess Denzel Washington is pretty old too. And you're saying this is an origin story about The Equalizer.
I guess it's
But
kind of
does anybody even know who The Equalizer was anymore? I mean, he was played by Edward Woodward.
Say that 10 times.
Edward Wood. And where is he now, Joe? Say that 10 times. Where is Edward Woodward now?
I'm guessing he's dead by now.
He's dead. 2009. And I'm willing to guess. I'm willing to bet that all the fans of The Equalizer, the show, are dead too.
No, they're right up there with Murder, She Wrote. But I will say this much: in the movie, in the TV show, The Equalizer used to answer classified ads, right? So if you needed help,
Like Craigslist. Does
exactly.
Denzel call Craigslist by the end?
Before there was Craigslist, people, our younger viewers, there were things called the classifieds, and they were in the newspaper. And if somebody wanted to sell something or looking for help, they would put it in the classified section of the newspaper. So back in the 80s, when The Equalizer was shot, Robert McCall, the character in The Equalizer, would look through the newspaper. The people who were trying to get in touch with Robert McCall would look through the newspaper and see this ad, and if they needed help, they would call the number there or go to the address or leave a note. I forgot what the protocol was, but that's how they would get in contact with The Equalizer. And I will support at the end of this movie, spoiler alert, Denzel takes to the internet and posts something on like Craigslist, and it's along the lines of odds against you, need help, contact me. That kind of thing at the end of the movie.
Now we're running out of time. Johanna, do you have any last thoughts?
Yeah, I have a very general thought just about how sick I am of seeing all of these remakes coming out. I feel like every time that I open up Facebook, I see someone in my feed talking about how excited they are for a remake of something, and it kind of makes me want to throw up in a bag and throw it at them. Like, why would anyone be excited about movie producers choosing to mine your childhood and create a shoddy ass product they know you will watch no matter how bad it is?
Oh, I got the answer.
You're being hosed, people. So I just feel
Joe,
like
she's talking to you, Joe. You being
I know.
hosed, Joe.
I got something for her right now.
you're being hosed.
I got something for her right now.
Pee on your head.
Johanna, you know what, Johanna? I think you're right. Johanna, I think you're right, and I agree with you. Hence, Pride and Prejudice has been done 1,000,000 times. It has been remade 1,000,000 times. So I think you're absolutely right, Johanna. We should never talk about it.
Actually, you know what, Joe? Maybe we should watch the original, which is 3 times as long, since it
No.
is the
I
original.
don't know. I heard it's pretty good. All right, we got 1 minute left. Any last thoughts, anybody?
This movie is probably a lot of fun to watch if you're old and you think that you have something to prove to the rest of society. But honestly,
Malik, stop lying. You know you're gonna watch this movie, so stop it.
no, I really, you
Stop
know
it.
what? You've convinced me to not watch it. Actually,
You are gonna watch it.
You-
You're gonna watch it. This is
gotta-
you're the same man who just right before we went into broadcasting.
Please
was like,
convince me not to
stop
buy
the podcast.
Transformers.
So just stop.
and he
Stop
just
with the madness.
convinced me not to watch The Equalizer. Look,
Joe, you should do a review of Transformers. You should do a positive review of Transformers. I don't get it.
look,
I bet you, Malik, you will like the Equalizer way more than you like Transformers 4.
I'll eventually see The Equalizer. I'm not rushing out to go see it in the theaters. Like it's not something that I definitely
That's your mistake.
on and watch. But I mean, I could definitely see, people out there, wanting to see it for reasons unknown. I mean, look, Denzel. If Hit Girl is not actually hitting people in this movie, I don't want to see it.
Well, she gets hit. So, I mean, you get half of it.
Oh dear.
At least there's some hitting, and there's a girl.
Go out there. If this movie tells you any one thing, go out there and save your local hooker. Because she needs help.
Yes.
Yeah, just be careful. You might get arrested
Or beaten up by the Russian mafia.
if they're a real thing anymore.
They exist.
Well, I guess you could get beat up by guys in tracksuits.
Russian Mafia. Lorenzo doesn't think you exist. I do, so don't come after me.
Go after him. He's the
All right,
sacrificial
all right,
lamb.
all right. We're out of time. Malik, you want to wrap us up?
Hey, check us out on all the social media websites that you could possibly think of. It's Agents of Helm. Everywhere you look, we are the Agents of Helm. That's who we are. Feel free to hit us up on Twitter or hit us up on Facebook. Comment, post, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. We'll be back later on this week with Johanna's show. Correct?
Yes, it is. I
All
can
right.
give you a tiny preview. It's probably going to involve vampires.
Vampires.
Oh, so death.
No,
Again.
vampires have nothing to do with death. Well,
Oh, no, you're right. They're mutually exclusive.
it is not a death show. It is a vampire show. Okay, vampires aren't dead. They've just come back
They're
to life.
undead.
They're undead. Exactly. It's the undead show.
All right, we're gonna do an episode about sparkling vampires and how and how
Everyone knows how
beautiful
much Johanna loves
they
Twilight.
are. This is
Oh no.
She's Team Edward.
I'm team shut your mouth. That's the team I'm on right now.
Well, I'm sure we're all looking forward to it, and we'll give it a shot and try to make it fun. So without further ado, I am Malik, and for Johanna, Joe, and Lorenzo, we are the Agents of Helm. Have a great night. See you guys later. Peace.
See ya.
We clear?
Yeah, I can stop now.
Yeah, yeah.